Hey everyone! So this video is going to be about using your fingers to achieve eye looks. And I've been doing this a lot in my videos and I've been getting a lot of questions about it in my videos. And I do have a makeup theory video planned, but I wanted to do this one kind of right away just because the influx of questions have been about this. For those of you who've watched my videos for a long time, you know that I've always used my fingers in my eye looks. That's not something I've done as of late. And I think a lot of you guys do too, because a lot of you appreciate that I don't use 25 brushes to accomplish a look. That's overwhelming. Most of us don't have 25 brushes. I probably have 25 brushes and I use a total of 3 or 4 of them. But I think the YouTube community, and I don't care if this offends some people, but it's jaded us into believing that we need a full professional makeup artist brush kit to do makeup and to do makeup well. I'm sorry, and it's not true. Like, don't believe that. I can do an eye look. You guys can watch me. I do an eye look where I pick up a brush or two. Brushes have their place in makeup. If you're using brush for eyeliner, you can't do that with your finger. If you're like smudging eyeshadow on your bottom lash line, if you're putting anything on your bottom lash line, you need a brush. You can't do that with your finger. If you're doing a cut crease, you need to do that with a brush. You can't do that with your finger. But most everything else where you need impactful color, or like let's say you need to apply primer, I can't believe people apply primer with a brush. Like, that blows my mind. Like, why? What's the point? Do you know it gets done quicker with your fingers? I don't understand that. Or if you, let's say you're applying a color base, like for example when I used my NYX jumbo sticks, like, or MAC shade sticks, why do you need a brush? Why can't you do it with your finger? The warmth in your finger helps distribute that color better anyway. I don't know. This gets me flustered. Whenever we go to answer those questions, I always feel like I can't believe that people have been jaded so badly by the YouTube, and it is the YouTube community, because I watch these videos and it always blows my mind that people switch between 50 different brushes to get one eye look done and you use 2 different eyeshadows. Like, stop. Stop convincing people that they need these brushes. And let me just clarify. When you see like professional makeup artists who do stuff on YouTube, you know who they are, you know who I'm talking about. It's one thing for them to have those brushes available and handy and ready to use in a video, but for the rest of like us everyday folk who are just trying to make our makeup look better, it's not realistic to have that many brushes. It's not realistic to have 2 blending brushes, one to actually blend the color and then one that's clean to further blend the color. That's not, like, when those brushes cost $20, $30, $40, $50, $60, like, how do you justify when you know, that's money that you could have spent on paying your rent or paying the electric bill or paying off your credit cards? You're not going to think, well, I don't have that money, but at least my blush looks good. Anyway, I know that was like me doing a little bit of venting, and I hate to vent, but I want you guys to understand that your perceptions have been skewed. You need to paradigm shift a little bit. Stop seeing things the way that people are feeding them to you and think about them. Don't just monkey see, monkey do. I'm going to use the Urban Decay Naked Palette to make my point, because these are high quality eyeshadows, and I'm going to show you guys a little like demonstration. Why does your finger work better than a brush? And it's not just the way that it looks, it's also how you save product. So I'm going to do a dark color just so you can see it on the camera and it's not washed out. And I'm going to do one that's not, like, Hustle is a great one to work in. You can already tell, like, my finger's been in there. But I'm not going to do any eye primer, and I'm just going to do it right on the back of my hand. So here we go. Really quick and easy. I'm using a Coastal Scents brush, but it's really, really dense. This is kind of the brush that I reach for when I want a lot of color. Like, let's say I'm placing color in my crease. This is what I'll use to pick up a lot of color and to put on a lot of color. So, if I take Hustle and I take my finger, we're going to pretend that the back of my hand is my eyelid, and there we go. I've applied Hustle. I usually do 2 or 3 layers of an eyeshadow color. Now I'm going to take my really dense brush and I'm going to do 1 layer versus 1 layer. Okay, so my really dense brush, and I'm going to rub it around in Hustle, and I'm going to swipe right next to it. the difference is huge. All the color is where the bristles touch first. It's not actually, I wish that this camera quality was better. It's not actually pressed into my skin. It's not like sitting on my skin. What it is a whole bunch of like granules of the eyeshadow kind of sitting on top of my skin, waiting to be fallout. Okay? Oh, you can see. It's just sitting on my skin, where this is like actually on my skin. I don't have any primer on my hand. And if I go back with the brush and I try to like press this in, all it's going to do is it's going to lose its color. And now the color is gone. So what I did with one finger swipe is going to take me, I don't know, 4 or 5 layers to achieve with a brush. A, that's a waste of product, because all I'm doing is I'm just brushing away the color. And B, I don't have time for that. I don't have time for that in the mornings when I'm getting ready. I don't care if I allot 3 hours to get ready for a special occasion. There are so many more things that I could think to do with my time than sit around and apply and reapply eyeshadow. Other than just strictly color payoff, what your finger achieves with a brush is also product waste, because obviously product waste from how many times you have to layer to achieve what your finger can do, but also when you're rubbing your brush in the palette, you can see that the brush did it here. This would be a really good time to have a HD camera, but I don't. But you can try this experiment at home. When I rub my finger over this eyeshadow, all I did was I picked up color, okay? But when I rub a brush in an eyeshadow, I displace a lot of color. And what does that mean? That means that the little like granules of eyeshadow will sit on top of here, and they'll probably eventually get on my nerves because they'll start to like jump into the other eyeshadows and ruin the other eyeshadows. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to blow it off. I'm going to just go blow it off, and that's all eyeshadow that honestly should have been on my eyes at some point in a look rather than blown into oblivion. So when you use your finger, all you're doing is like you're rubbing the eyeshadow and you're not displacing it. People will say things like, well, you know, the oils from your fingers will get in the eyeshadow and ruin the eyeshadow. And that's true. What happens is your eyeshadow will get like a hard surface on it that you'll have to like scratch with either your nail or like a nail file or something. But when you use your brush and you apply the color to your eyelid and then you dip the brush back in the eyeshadow, you're doing the same exact thing. There are just some things that can't be avoided. Unless you have 7 brushes and you dip it in the eyeshadow, put it on, and then you use the next brush. And yes, I'm being a little sarcastic here because nobody does that. And furthermore, when you are using your makeup, whether you use all brushes or you use your fingers for any part of your face, your hands need to be clean, because all you're going to do is contaminate your makeup products and cross-contaminate your makeup products. And whether it's oil or it's bacteria, that's going to cause an infection or ruin your products. You're going to bring your products to an expiration date sooner than they ought to be. So that's why I use my fingers for eyeshadow. And again, I highly encourage you to try this at home if you don't believe me. Brushes have their place, but don't overlook your fingers and what your hands can do. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope that helped you guys like clarify and understand a couple of concepts, and I will see you soon. Bye.